Dobrze. No to witam w kolejnym odcinku. Już u mnie po Sylwestrze. Mam nadzieję, że Sylwester wam się udał. Było zajebiście, fajnie. Tęczenie, głupoty i w ogóle. Ale teraz musimy odnaleźć tego majtka, tego kapitana, bo nie zrobimy tego punktu nauki i nie zrobimy tego eliksiru, więc na razie tego majtka. Dobra, jebać kuzyna na razie.
Is everything ready? I'm still without news of my cabin boy, but we will have to do without.
Nie. No. Kiedy widział go po raz ostatni?
When did you see your cabin boy for the last time? It's been 2 days since I've had any news at all.
2
It wasn't out
dni.
of the ordinary until this morning. My men have free shore leave when we're at dock. But the day of departure, every able-bodied sailor must be present on the ship.
Zapytaj znajomość w Serenie.
Does the boy know anyone in Serene? Other than fellow Nords, you mean? I don't think so, but it's difficult to be sure.
Kto go widział po raz ostatni?
When did you see your cabin boy for the last time? It's been 2 days since I've had any news at all. It wasn't out of the ordinary until this morning. My men have free shore leave when we're at dock. But the day of departure, every able-bodied sailor must be present on the ship.
O bliskich przyjaciół?
Jonas. Does he have any close friends amongst the crew? In tradition, we are all members of the same family. But yes, there would be Flavio and Lauro. Might I have a word with them? As you wish. You'll find them over there, in port.
No i zajebiście, to jest już coś. No i to już jest coś. Żeby pogadać z kimś, kto go zna i się coś tam dowiemy, nie? Fuck. Dobra, to jednak nie tutaj. Myślałem, że tutaj, ale to jednak nie tutaj. To niech zapierdzielamy tutaj. Dobra, najpierw tu. Czekaj, F5. Mam 2 nowych klientów. Chcę udać się do Al-Assad. A inkwizytorzy drepczą im po piętach, co nie ułatwi tego zadania. Chyba nie mogę, niepostrzeżenie dostać ich statek. Okej. Ale czemu tam był X? What the fuck?
Good day. Someone told me that you're a friend of Jonas's, the young cabin boy who's gone missing.
That's right, yeah. Are you looking for him?
Tak, szukam go.
Your captain asked me to go and find him.
Happy to hear he's taken the disappearance seriously. What can I do for you?
Zapytaj chłopca okrętowego. Zapytaj, gdzie po ostatniego widziała.
When did you last see him?
2 days ago, in the evening. We went to have a drink in the tavern. Jonas, Lauro and myself.
Did anything seem out of the ordinary? Was he troubled?
Maybe a tad troubled. Like he was somewhere else.
Why would that be? Give me your best guess.
Boy, I haven't the faintest idea.
To czemuś go nie powstrzymała, głupia babo? Jak wiedziała, że coś go trapi, no ja pierdzielę. Zapytaj o jego wyjście do miasta.
What does Jonas do in his free time? When you're on land?
He just hangs around here or there. You know the cabin boys don't have half a sailor's wages. And when evening comes, we usually go down the tavern with good old Lauro.
Ci od
Did he
nich
ever have
dowiem.
one too many?
Never. He sips his pint like it was bad medicine. One drink lasts him the whole night.
Zapytaj o jego
Does
znajomych.
he know anyone in Serene?
No one, far as I know.
Czy miał wrogów?
Do you think he could have made himself any enemies?
I wouldn't think that for a moment. Jonas has a good heart and he steers clear of trouble and troublemakers.
I don't know where to start with this. Do you have any idea?
No. Lauro won't stop telling anyone who will lend him an ear that the boy was carried off by thugs.
And you don't believe him?
I like Lauro, don't get me wrong, he's like a brother. But to be honest, he drinks a little more than he should.
Może
The itch
muszę
for a
tego
drink
Lauro
gets us
przesłuchać.
all, but to him more than others, and when you drink too much, the imagination wanders. Here, yesterday, it was me who tied one over, and I thought I heard Jonas's voice by the canal. I called back to him, as you guessed, but then nothing. Drink. It blurs the senses.
What do you think about Captain Vasco?
He's a damn good navigator, and an excellent leader of men. He knows his craft well, in spite of being so young.
How old is he?
He's not seen his 25th year yet. If he keeps it up, he'll be...
25 lat? Wow! Młodziutki, kurde, jak na te czasy to...
I need to be going. Farewell.
Kurde. No to powiem, że młodziutki ten Vasco. Ale. Jeszcze musimy się dowiedzieć kilku rzeczy tutaj. O tym zaginionym majtku.
Good day, sailor. I've been told that you know the missing cabin boy well. Is that right?
You talking about Jonas?
Tak.
Bet your stars I
Wszyscy
know
o
it,
Jonasie
but like
gadają
I've been
dzisiaj.
crying to the 9 death winds. He didn't go missing, he was taken.
O! Dobra.
Were you a witness
Co
to the
wiesz?
event?
Yes, I was. Even though I'd had a few tumblers in the belly, I hadn't yet lost my head. The other day, in the tavern, I saw him talking to a well-dressed man, surrounded by some other sly ruffians. And then when we left, him and I, Flavia left a little earlier, you understand. Well, those brutes were there, waiting for him. They just up and took him like that. Grabbed his arms and poof. Gone. Vanished.
Okej.
Why didn't you intervene?
I tried to, believe me. But my legs betrayed me. Wavering they were.
No
And I fell
stresik,
into the
rozumiem,
gutter.
no.
Did you report this to the captain?
Unfortunately not. I know all too well what weight my words carry. Even Flavia treated me like a drunken fool. And the captain? No, not telling him that. I still have some pride left. You get me?
O nastrój chłopaka zapytajmy.
Did Jonas seem troubled to you the night he disappeared?
Maybe. For sure he wasn't his usual self.
Do you know what was on his mind?
No. No idea.
Pytaj o porywaczy.
Why would anyone want to snatch a mere cabin boy?
How would I know? Jonas is a gentle boy who keeps his head down. You think my story is nothing but mess too, don't you?
It's just that I can't imagine a gang of thugs hoping to get a ransom for a cabin boy. Did anyone else see the kidnapping?
There was still a small crowd in the tavern. But outside, I seem to recall that regular being there. We play cards with him from time to time. Kind of fellow who plays from morning to night time to be that skilled.
Kurde,
But now and again he
będę
comes
musiał
out
grać chyba w karty,
when
co?
nature calls, you know. I kind of remember his face being there.
No dobra.
What do you think about Captain Vasco?
He's a just man who knows his knots. He's well appreciated by the crew. It's a pity that he hasn't much heart for laughs now and again. Always seems unhappy, our captain.
Thank you, Lara. I need to be going.
Strange story this is.
Something isn't right here, I can feel it. We need to lift the veil on this.
No musimy, ale no. Dajcie przesłuchaj świadków. Dobra, świadkowie są gdzieś tam. Nie wiem czemu tam masz. Ale okej, może się źle przesłuchałem i nawet nie słuchałem. Wykonywanie misji. W grze GreedFall misję można w reguły ukończyć za kilka różnych sposobów. Desert ma do wyboru wiele opcji, takich jak podstęp, perfazja, intuicja, korupcja, przeciwieństwo przedmiotów na stole rzemieślniczym. Uzyskanie te obszary, wydawanie punkty. No dobra, dobra, wiem. F5 i gadamy.
Good day, tavern keeper.
Good day to you. What is your pleasure?
Zaginiony chłopiec okrętowy. Ogo porwanie.
I'm looking for a Naut, a young cabin boy who's been missing roll call for 2 days now.
A Naut, you say? That's not a lot to go on. There are quite a few that come to my tavern.
According to one of his fellows, he would have been taken right here.
A kidnapping. In my establishment. You surely jest. Or at least I hope you do. I would have noticed. That doesn't hold
Tak,
water.
chyba że sprzedajesz kurwa kogoś na pierdolone kurwa części albo na jebane pierdolone korony czy tam złota. Nie wiem czy to są srebrniki czy co. Zapomniałem jaka to jest waluta. Zapytaj o ewentualnego świadka.
Someone told me about one of your faithful clients. A big gambler, it would seem.
I see. An able-bodied man. Passes his time lightening the pouches of sailors coming through.
O, jednak
Where might I
coś.
find him at this time?
Here? He would never give away his chair at his table. Anything else?
Chuj ci w dupę, kamieni kupę. Dobra, zapytajmy jeszcze o mojego kuzyna.
I'm looking for my cousin. His name is Constantine. I believe he was intent on celebrating his departure last night.
There was indeed a party here last night, but it ended badly.
Whatever do you mean?
A brawl broke out. My tavern was shattered, and no one's paid for the damages.
I'm sorry. Amongst the rebel rousers, did there happen to be a young man? 20 years of age. Hair down to his neck, light brown, blue eyes. Quite the talker.
I don't believe it. Of course he was there. He's the man that started the fight. I
Aha.
hope you've come to reimburse me. Don't count on me to help you if that's not the case.
What kind of damage are we talking about exactly?
A good half of my furniture was broken into firewood. I piled up the
Nie mam
lot over
pieniędzy,
there.
jestem
Let me
biedakiem.
take a look. Perhaps it can be repaired.
If you can fix it, I'll be obliged. If not, you'll need to pay.
Dobra, pierdzielę, zapłacę. 25 minut to nie jest dużo.
Here you are, to cover your expenses.
Excellent. Honest books makes for honest friendships. Your cousin is either a very bad joker or a right good fool. He went and insulted a band of ruffians from the lower boroughs. Dangerous fellows. They've a storehouse they operate out of a few streets from here.
What kind of business do they run?
Several, actually, and they're all illegal and profitable. But you didn't hear that from me. In any case, if you were set on recovering your cousin, I would hurry if I were you. They're not the tender sorts.
Thank you for the information.
Off with ya. Get him out of whatever mess he's got himself into. Seemed like a courageous fellow. Who could down his pint? Anything else?
Nie, dobra.
I need
Na
to be
razie
off.
wystarczy.
Farewell.
Goodbye.
Szukaj świadków. No dobra, tu mamy jakiegoś świadka. Niby.
Who are you? I don't recognize you. Am I in your debt?
O kurde, jakiś chory bardzo mocno.
Have no fear about that. It's for a different reason that I am here. I'm looking for a Naut that disappeared 2 days ago, after visiting this establishment. A young cabin boy. 2 members of his crew accompanied him.
Yes, that does ring a bell. I've played with the 3 of them.
Pytaj chłopca okrętowego. Wydarzenia. Wydarzenia. Chłopca to wiemy jak ten, ale wydarzenia bardziej mnie interesują. Będziemy mieli więcej informacji.
Tell me what happened that evening.
A rich merchant came in with a band of strong arms. The kind of men you can round up for a few coins, if you catch my drift. They exchanged words with the cabin boy. The kid was defensive, not sitting pretty. And then they finally left.
And after that?
It just so happens that I did go out for a breather. I needed some fresh air. And I think I might well have seen those same men grab him. but that was none of my business. I wouldn't have thought that they were kidnapping him if that's what it was. They weren't particularly rough with him.
What can you tell me about the boy? How was he that night?
He seemed rather nervous, as if he was worried about something. Didn't feel like playing, that I remember. And he must have been right to be nervous, if he's disappeared.
Czy... O! Przecież tego naszego kuzyna szybko nie znajdziemy. O informację o bogaczu.
Who was the rich merchant, do you think? A jilted lover? A moneylender?
No, sir. You are in luck. It so happens that I know the man. It was Sir Fontaine, that merchant.
Where can I find him?
He has a house in the wealthy boroughs, just off the canal, a stone's throw from the Theleme embassy.
Thank you. You've been immensely helpful.
This man is completely owned by his love for the game.
Leci porywacz i stawkiem czoła.
What would he gain from lying?
I have no idea. But what would any wealthy merchant gain from holding a penniless child?
Citizens of Serene, come to me. You won't regret
No
this
dobra, to chodźmy no.
miraculous opportunity.
Dachmy im czoła. Ja się tam nie boję. Pięć. Zobaczmy, kto tu będzie.
Might I help you, sir?
I would like to have a word with Sir Fontaine.
He is absent, but the lady of the house could certainly receive you. Enter, please.
Enta ples. Przyjmie mnie kurwa jakaś kurwa panienka, no dobrze. Ale jak jej wyjebie w ryj, to nie, żeby nie było na mnie. F5.
Oh, I know you. I've seen you at court. You are Lord
Byłem
Desalle,
tutaj wcześniej w
and to
pierwszym
what do I owe the
odcinku,
honor
ale
of
mnie
your
kurwa
visit,
nawet
Excellency?
ignorowałaś,
I would
szmato
like to have a
jebana.
word with your husband.
He is not here, but perhaps I could be of help.
It
Jak mnie
concerns
możesz
a
pomóc,
delicate
jak
matter.
wcześniej mnie ignorowałeś,
We're looking
jebany
for a missing
NPC-cie?
cabin boy. According to witnesses, he had an argument with your husband before being taken.
I see. I am afraid that you have been misled. You seem to have come to the wrong conclusion. The cabin boy you speak of was not taken. He has simply returned home.
Excuse me, but I'm not sure I understand.
No
Don't you
właśnie.
see, Your Excellency? We got our son back.
Co kurwa? Ty jesteś popierdolona, czy kurwa masz, nie wiem, cipę kurwa z Boga zjebania? Wspomnij o zajściu do tawernie.
I am very surprised. Several witnesses confirmed that your son had a fight with your husband, and that his men escorted him from the tavern using force. If he had joined your husband willingly,
Witnesses? In a tavern? And you choose to believe these drunkards over a respectable family?
Wolę wierzyć
these
pijakom niż
witnesses are
kurwa
all in
pierdolonej
agreement, and it's
psychicznej
their
matce.
testimonies that have led me to your doorstep.
My son was probably shocked to have found us. My husband and the other men might have simply had to carry him. A gesture that your drunkards must have misunderstood.
Kurwa! Tak? Ich syna zabrali, kuźwa, i gdzie on jest? Ja pierdolę. Zapytaj, jak wpadnie na trop syna.
How did you find your son's trail?
We have never stopped looking for him. We learned the new name they gave him, Jonas.
No
My
tak, no
poor
to
little
wiemy.
Celestine. Then we learned the name of the ship he sailed on. No sooner had it docked in Serene than my husband had the crew watched closely, and we found him.
Where might I find your son now?
I cannot say, Excellency. You must understand why. Until the Naughts have set sail, we live in fear they will take him back from us.
This pact. It sounds like some fear-inducing story.
The Naughts wouldn't be the first to recruit through dubious means.
No to co ja mam kuźwa zrobić teraz? Myślałem, że to zakończy to, ale widzę, że jeszcze coś mam. Dowiedz się więcej o kontraktach Montaigne. No dobra, no to chodź. Oj, nie tutaj. Mówiłem, że jest ślepy zaułek. Bardziej tutaj. Trochę się boję, co się zaraz wydarzy z tym majtkiem. No, mam mieć dobra broń kapitana. Powiedzmy już wszystko.
Sir, you still haven't found your cousin. As you well know, we can't
Dobra,
leave
nie bać na
without-
nasi kuzyna, jest coś
Have no fear.
weźszego.
I will bring him back in time to make our scheduled departure. Is everything ready?
I'm still without news of my cabin boy, but we will have to do without.
To się bardziej martwi o wyprawę niż o swojego majtka, nie?
I spoke with a woman who told me she was the mother of the cabin boy. She claims that her son was taken from her.
Taken? Her son is sea gifted. His parents were required to give him up to honor the terms of a contract.
A contract? But what kind of contract are we speaking of?
A to jest
A
jeszcze jakaś
commercial
umowa
contract.
papierowa, czy
In
słowna?
exchange for services rendered by the Nords, some families cede more than gold. In some cases, nations even trade some of their subjects before they're born. I wouldn't be able to tell you the condition of Jonas's contract. I didn't even know he was originally from Serene. But what I can tell you is the young man hasn't seen his parents since he was a small child. And ever since, he's been a Nord. Our ships are his home. And we are his only family.
Okej. Okay. Miejsce przytrzymywania.
Be back soon, Captain.
You see anyone else who might be able to help us? Anyone who's not a Naut?
Poprosić
Sir de
konkret-
Corsillion's a veritable well of scientific knowledge. He could tell us a little more.
Oby. Bo ja nie wiem, gdzie ten się Jonas Brothers trzyma.
But I still don't see Constantine at your side. I hope he hasn't been the
Dobra,
victim of any
Konstantina
foul play.
znajdziemy,
Don't
spokojnie,
worry. We'll find
spokojnie.
him in time for departure.
Najpierw trzeba
I
znaleźć tego
certainly
majtka
hope so.
chujajtka.
Would you be in need of my help in any way?
Umowa między Nopami a rodziną Fontaine.
I've had a word with Lady Fontaine. You must know her. That rich family that lives near the docks. She told me a strange story about her son who was a cabin boy on our ship. She said that he was taken when he was a child due to some contract with the Nords.
Who was a cabin boy? Do you mean he's no longer one?
They took him back to bring him home.
Well, that is very unpleasant news, de Sade. We need to do all we can to bring the boy back to his ship. Since time immemorial, there's
Ale jak to
always
zrobić?
been a certain
Siłą czy
price
co?
to pay for the services of the Nords. Children born on their ships belong to them. It's the rule of the sea. But certain contracts are so important that they also require children to be offered in exchange. From time to time, the congregation has passed such accord, and certain noble families had to give their children up.
Are you telling me that the Fontaines lost their son because of some agreement signed between my uncle and the Nords?
No, that pact ended a long time ago. This cabin boy couldn't have been a part of that contract. But Sir Fontaine has made a fortune trading with the Alliance, via ships.
Do you mean he would have offered up his own son in exchange for wealth?
Well, he probably did it before the birth of the
Co
child,
za gnój.
and regretted it afterwards. But that is of
Kasa
little
za swojego
importance.
synka.
What counts most is that you bring the boy back to the Nords as quickly as possible. Breaking a contract with the seafarers has always cost us dearly. Our nation could feel it in its coffers.
I will do my best.
A father selling his own son for a few boat rides.
Nie wierzę,
For
no.
ugly, that is ugly.
Lady Fontaine didn't seem to have any knowledge of that detail. That could be of use to us.
No, szkoda gadać, ale no chodźmy tam, zobaczmy co się dzieje, nie? Zakończmy sobie chociaż jeszcze zadanie w tym odcinku. A potem zobaczymy co dalej. Mieć. Chciałbym, żebyś przygotował kilka posiłków i zaniosła je do magazynu obok kanału. Mój mąż będzie pracować tam przez kilka dni ze swoim subiektem oraz innymi ludźmi, więc dopilnuj, aby mieli co jeść i bądź dyskretna. Nie chcemy, żeby inni z rodziny dowiedzieli się o tym, co się tam dzieje.
This document mentions another property, a warehouse.
That would be a great place to hide. Shall we take a peek?
Kuźwa, muszę wybrać? Naprawdę? No skąd ja mam wiedzieć, który jest który? No kurwa, w dupę si mi kupę, no. Kurde, przesuń się.
Here we are. Be careful. Fontaine won't be alone. He'll have his henchmen with him. To my house! Death to the others!
No gin!
Move away! Things...
Dobrze. Gdzie ty jesteś, Jonas? Chodź tu. Halo, Jonas! Jesteś tu?
To me, gods! Take no prisoners! To my help! And death to the others! Capable of.
Kurwi się! Nie dawaj się!
Move away! Things are about to get dicey!
Damy radę, damy radę! Dobra. Poziom drugi. Super. Jak się wybiera poziom? Chciałbym naukę dać. By sobie zrobić ten eliksir jebany. Co jest kurwa? Też nie mogę? What the fuck? Co mogę dać, kuźwa? Chyba tylko dupy, no. Poziom drugi mi nic nie daje? Żokwinicy. Chyba tutaj. Nie. Znajdź sposób, aby uwolnić. Dobra, jednak nie tutaj. Cześć, Jonas.
Who are you?
My name is Desade. I am legate of the congregation. Your captain has sent me to find you.
And were you able to convince my father to allow me to go free?
I'm extremely sorry to have to tell you this, Jonas. He preferred to fight to the death rather than allow you to leave. He left me no choice.
How tragic. The poor man. What madness overcame him? And the woman, my mother, she'll be all alone now.
You don't seem to be all that close to your parents.
I hadn't seen them since I was 5 years old. I barely
No
remember.
to na chuj się przejmujesz, ja pierdolę.
Capture me and lock me up in this warehouse. Hard to grow close after all that. My family is the Naughts. I am sorry for my parents.
No to zapierdalaj do statku, no chodź.
Can I go home?
Yes. You should still go and say farewell to your mother. Then find your way to the ship. I'll see you there.
Farming... No dobra. To chodźmy. Kurwa mać, czekaj. Się trochę gubię. Tu szedłem, dobra, czekaj, tu szedłem. Jest tu. I do góry, dobra. Masakra jest... Strasznie korytarzowe to jest. To 29 km. No, znaczy metrów, przepraszam. Przykup. Nie, no dobra, przebyśmy Wasko. Zakończymy sobie odcinek. Nie, przepraszam, że dzisiaj będzie taki króciutki, ale... Troszkę krótszy nic nie zaszkodzi, nie? Czasem się przyda, bo będziecie bardziej wyczekiwać kolejnego. F5.
Sir, you still haven't found your cousin.
Dobra, jebać kuzyna, jeszcze go znajdziemy.
Have no fear. I will bring him back in time to make our scheduled departure. Is everything ready?
My cabin boy, Jonas, is back on ship. I have you to thank.
No, oczywiście, że to moja.
It's a rather sad affair, and though solved, leaves a broken family behind.
All we can do is plot a course. No one tells the wind what to do. I do thank you. I didn't think you'd go to so much trouble for a cabin boy. Your actions.
Ja będę pomagał wszystkim, co się da. No i dobra. PD1000. Zostawiajcie łapki w górę, subujcie kanał. Wiem, że dzisiaj trochę krótszy odcinek, ale wiecie, no. Ja to nagrywam podczas Sylwestra, więc mam nadzieję, że zrozumiecie. Zostawiajcie łapki w górę, subujcie kanał. Mam nadzieję, że nowy rok wam się dobrze rozpoczął. Dobre tańce, dobre śpiewanko, dobre picie, dobre seksy i w ogóle. Pa, pa.